Russia is one of the biggest countries in the world. I've never been to Russia, but if I ever go there, I'd like to visit a few places. One of those places would be the Moscow Zoo. It has over 5,150 animals. It was the first zoo opened in Russia. It was opened in 1864. I would also like to visit the State Russian Museum, opened by Tsar Alexander III. The Russian flag colors are white, blue, and red. The population of Russia is over 140 million people. The official language is Russian. The capital city of Russia is Moscow, which has a population of over 10 million people. Russia is 17,075,400 square kilometers. The Prime Minister is Vladimir Putin. The President is Dmitry Medvedev. There is a political party Federal Assembly and a political party Federal Council. At every Winter Olympics from 1964 until today, a Soviet or Russian pair has won gold in figure skating. This is considered the longest winning streak in modern sports history. Another winter sport Soviets or Russians are dominant in are cross-country skiing, especially the women, bobsledding, biathlon, speed skating, skeleton, and luge. Evgeny Plushenko figure skates for Russia, and he won a silver medal. In the Summer Olympics, the Russians have won 108 gold medals, 101 silver medals, and 115 bronze medals. In total summer medals, the Russians have won 324. In total Winter Olympics, the Russians have won 77 medals. The Russians' regular clothes are just like we wear. Traditional clothes are worn on holidays. They are very colorful and have woven patterns in them. Traditional Russian shoes are made from bark. One of the popular breakfasts in Russia is called blinis. It is a thin pancake stuffed with fillings. They also eat eggs, porridge, sausage, cheese, and bread for breakfast. Beef stroganoff is a popular Russian dish. It has mushrooms and onions in it. Borscht is a beet soup. It is also a very popular soup in Russia. Piroshki is an amazing meal that the Russians eat. It is baked or fried dumplings. The Russians eat their main meal at lunch, where here we eat our main meal in late afternoon, which we all know as supper. The Russians drink a lot of tea and coffee. Coffee has become very popular among young Russians. Kvass is a beer beverage. One of the national holidays in Russia is the Orthodox Christmas. The Russians listen to 1700 folk music. The Mikai Glinka is a school where they learn about classic music. Russia is a large country, so the weather is very different depending on where you are. Most of Russia is known for their long and bitter winters. January temperatures are about minus 46 degrees Celsius down to about minus 68 degrees Celsius. July temperatures are about 16 degrees Celsius up to about 38 degrees Celsius. European plains receive the most rain in Russia, but the average can be from 30 millimeters to 77 millimeters depending on the month or area. The heaviest snowfall in Russia was 4 feet, 120 centimeters in one snowfall. Moscow gets snow and it stays there for about 5 months. The south part of Russia has a very short growing season in terms of vegetables and fruits, so the kinds of food available are limited. There are long times where it is dark for most of the day, so people need to use more electricity and heat. Many buildings need special foundations because the ground is frozen year-round. In Russia, there are more than 300 mammal species, there are more than 700 bird species, about 30 species of amphibians, and about 80 species of reptiles. Russia is home to polar bears, seals, walruses, Arctic foxes, reindeers, and Arctic hares. Bird life includes white partridge, snowy owls, gulls, and loons. Geese, swans, and ducks come to the area during the summer. There are also elks, brown bears, lynx, sables, owls, boars, deer, wolves, foxes, and minks. They are also a mixture of birds, snakes, lizards, and tortoises. Wolves and foxes are a very well-known predator. People in Russia hunt some of these animals, such as the fox. They catch the foxes and make fur hats. Russia includes many different habitats for animals. There are large forests in Russia with trees like the northern pine, fir, spruce, and larch. One of the major cities in Russia is Moscow, which is the capital of Russia. Some other major cities in Russia are St. Petersburg and Samara. Some major bodies of water in Russia are the Baltic Sea, the Caspian Sea, the Black Sea, Lake Baikal, Lena River, and Ob River. Russia has many mountain areas. The Ural Mountains cover 2,500 miles of eastern Russia. Russia exports oil, petroleum products, aluminum, and seafood. It imports meats, cars, and railway materials. Russia is rich in oil and natural gas, as well as precious metals like gold. In 2007, most Russians made between $42 and $52 a day. Most tourists come to Russia to see cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg. They have lots of historic sites and buildings. It also has lots of wilderness. There are lots of lakes and forests. So the two main reasons people go to Russia are culture and nature. Did you know that the color white on the Russian flag means peace and honesty? The color red means strength and bravery. The color blue means truth and loyalty, perseverance and justice. Did you know that Russian children go to school at the age between 6 and 7? They attend school for 10 years and they finish it at 16 or 17 years old. They usually spend all 10 years in one building. All 3 schools are in the same building. The school day normally starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and finishes at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Students come to school 5 days a week. Some study on Saturdays. To travel in Russia, you can go by car, train, plane, or bus. In conclusion, Russia seems like a very great and interesting country. I would definitely consider going to Russia. During my research on Russia, I learned many different and interesting facts about this country.